Am I audible to you and the screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible and audible.
Okay. So welcome to the heating, ventilation and air conditioning very first lecture. Okay. So basically today we will see the course structure. So this is the HVAC course structure where there is a theory of 3 hours per week and there is a practical of 2 hours per week. Okay. And there is an INSEM examinations of 30 marks and there is an INSEM examination of 70 marks. Okay. Moving to the term work, it is a term work of 25 marks where you have to complete the 4 practicals. You know now the prerequisite to this are thermodynamics 1, that is engineering thermodynamics, and and thermodynamics 2, that is applied thermodynamics. Okay. So the next is refrigeration and air conditioning. We know that this subject is basically the extension of the uh, refrigeration and air conditioning subject. Moving to the next, what are the course objectives? The course objectives are very simple: to understand the recent vapor compression cycle. The traditional vapor compression cycle we have seen earlier, we have to understand here the recent vapor compression cycles. Okay. Then to provide the knowledge of analyze and thermal designs of refrigeration system components. Okay, so here we are going to see in detail compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator in detail. We are going to solve the numericals of that as well. Okay, to understand the practical aspects of vapor compression cycle, here that capacity control and all important concepts, hunting of expansion valve is going to come, which we have to see. Then to provide the knowledge of basic concepts of ventilation, infiltration and spread distribution techniques. Okay, so you will be aware by this unit number 4, that is ventilation. Okay, and then you will get to know about infiltration and spread distribution techniques. Okay, then to inculcate techniques of estimating building envelope load. Okay, that you will come to know in unit number 5. Then at the end, unit number 6, you will be able to understand the working of non-conventional air conditioning system. So what are these non-conventional air conditioning systems? Okay, that you will going to know in unit number 6. The course outcome means on completion of the course, student will able to, so number 1, determine the performance of transcritical and ejector refrigeration systems. Okay, then to basically estimate the thermal performance of a compressor, evaporator, condenser and cooling tower. That is what? Unit number 2. Okay. Then describe the refrigerant piping design, capacity and safety controls, balancing of vapor compression system. That all you are going to see in the subsequent unit, that is unit number 3. Then important indoor and outdoor design condition, internal air quality, ventilation and infiltration. Okay, that particularly you are going to see in unit number 4. Okay, then estimating heat transfer to the building walls, CLTD, decrement factor, time lag methods, energy efficient, cost effective measures for building envelope, that you are going to see in unit number 5. Okay, then working of types of desiccants, evaporative, thermal storage, radiant cooling, clean room and heat pump air conditioning systems, that basically you are going to see in the very last unit, that is unit number 6, and there is some portion which is there in unit number 5 as well. Okay, so that basically you are going to see it over here. That's why all this comes in course outcomes. Then moving back to the syllabus. Okay, we have already discussed the syllabus for unit 2, unit 1 and unit 2. We will go rapidly over here. Then we will go in depth for unit 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, it will take hardly 10 minutes, but it is required that you must be aware about your syllabus first. So unit 1 is advanced vapor compression cycles. Vapor compression cycles you already studied there in the refrigeration and air conditioning, thermodynamics and all. Now here you have to first of all do the to study the background, that is a review of vapor compression cycles you need to do, then the transcritical cycles, and you have to study their numerical treatment, reticle treatments and numerical treatment. Then you have to see the ejector refrigeration cycle, their types, and its presentation on pH and TS chart. Okay, in unit number, after unit number 1, in unit number 2 you are going to see the thermal design of refrigeration system components, where we are going to see the compressors, where we are going to study the characteristic curves of reciprocating and centrifugal compressors, sizing of reciprocating compressor, its numerical, then for evaporator standards and codes, then performance analysis of direct expansion evaporator. Okay, then condenser standards and codes, air cooled condensers, shell and tube condensers, and evaporative condensers subsequently. In expansion devices, we are going to see standards and codes, operating characteristics again, liquid charge in sensing bulb. This is a most important phenomenon, and hunting of the thermostatic expansion valve. This particularly you are going to see. Then next comes the cooling tower. Cooling towers, you will see types and designs of cooling tower. Okay, their thermal performances and tower efficiency. There is one that term work practical is associated with this, which where we are going to see practically these things over there. Then in number 3, it is practical aspects of vapor compression systems, where we are going to first of all see the refrigerant piping, in which copper tubing, okay, then piping designed for reciprocating refrigeration systems, size of copper tubing, okay, meaning of refrigeration load again and pressure drop, sizing procedure, then most importantly suction and discharge line. This is most important concept practically we are going to see. Then the liquid line. Okay, in capacity controls, basically we are going to see it for reciprocating centrifugal and scroll compressors. Okay, for safety controls like low pressure and high pressure controls, low temperature control, frost control, oil pressure failure control, motor overload control. This is again one of the most important kind of phenomenon, motor overload control. Then vapor compression system balances, in which we are going to see the performance characteristics from condensing unit and compressor capillary tube over there. Okay, so this is a little bit discussion of unit 3. In unit 3 again there is a that what we can say a cooling tower. Need to see it over here. So okay. Then unit number 4, that is ventilation and infiltration. There we are going to see the indoor design criteria and thermal comfort. Here we will see the basic parameters, factor representing thermal comfort, most interesting topic, comfort discomfort diagrams, indoor temperatures, relative humidity, you know relative humidity, air velocity, relative humidity psychometry में cover हुआ है already in applied thermodynamics and all. Uh, According to the new syllabus, applied thermodynamics unit 1 part B, and according to the older syllabus it was in engineering thermodynamics. Okay, so the indoor air quality, indoor air contaminants, basic strategies to improve indoor air quality, outdoor design conditions, outdoor air requirements for occupants, the use of outdoor weather data in design, outdoor weather characteristics and their influence, natural ventilation, mechanical ventilation, space air distribution, design of air distribution systems, type of air distribution devices, airflow, pattern inside condition spread, stratified mixing flow, cold air distribution, displacement flow, and spot cooling and heating, that is selection of air outlets. That will be the portion of unit number 4 over there. Then in unit number 5 we are going to see heat load estimation in building structures. So we're going to study the solar radiations, heat gain through penetrations, space load characteristics, cooling load and coil load calculations, overall heat transmission coefficient, air spaces, soil air temperature, decrement factor and time lag method, cooling load temperature differential method, equivalent temperature differential (ETD) method, detailed calculation procedures using CLTD methods, and total heat balance. Then energy efficient cost effective measures for envelope and concept of ECBC, that is energy conservation building